41. Remove any equation on cell K17 and click on the Define Distribution button. On the Special tab, select the compound distribution. 42. By selecting on compound distribution, the following chart appears. Observe that on the cell formula window and on the parameters section, you can view the two convoluted or compounded elements of any given compound function, the frequency part and the severity part. 43. By clicking on the formula bar on either one of the two subfunctions placed here by default, the Poisson distribution for frequency and the log norm distribution for severity, you can alternatively evaluate the two elements that compound this distribution. 44. Click on the frequency Poisson segment of the formula and observe how the parameters are now ready to be edited. We will replace this Poisson frequency distribution for the binomial that counts number of events. On the function list of the parameter section, select out of the drop-down list the binomial distribution. This will change the frequency part of this compound function to the following chart. 45. By clicking on the Assign Excel References as Arguments button, change the two parameters for being respectively C17 and B17 for N and P. 46. Click on the icon on the upper right-hand corner of this small window to return to the binomial chart, which should now look like this. We have now completed the first frequency part of this compound distribution. Let us complete the severity part. 47. Click on the severity part of the formula, the risk log norm section. The following chart appears. Out of a function drop-down list on the parameters section, change the severity function to a PERT distribution. The following chart appears. 49. By clicking on the Assign Excel References as Arguments button, change the three PERT parameters for a minimum at cell G17, a most likely value at cell F17, and a maximum value at H17. 50. Click on the icon on the upper right-hand corner of the small window to return to the PERT chart, which should now look like this. 51. Now click on the risk compound section of the formula so that at risk can now generate 1,000 pre-iterations that would make look your binomial PERT compound distribution as follows. This is a convoluted pre-simulated outcome of the risk subcontractors going out of business. Observe the tall model bar at the left-hand side of the chart, which summarizes those outcomes where now subcontractors may go out of business, approximately on 60% of the instances. 52. You can now close by clicking OK on your chart. The convoluted function should now look like this. Equals risk compound, open parenthesis, risk binomial, open parenthesis, C17, comma, B17, close parenthesis, comma, risk PERT, open parenthesis, G17, comma, F17, comma, H17, close to parentheses. As we have mentioned before, we call these types of risks as binary multiple events. In other words, you have multiple independent events of the same nature occurring where each one of these events share the same probability of occurrence, P.